I hit the wrong button. I hit the streaming button. Anyway, how y'all doing? It is that time of the week, that time of the month. Another episode of Talk of the Day. It is the Fitness Abyss, also known as Matt. That's my name, so why not say I'm also known by my name, right? Today, on Talk of the Day, I'm just gonna hop right into it. I had a lot of fun going over the Reddit reading posts last month, so this month I'm gonna do another one, except I'm gonna read two posts and really break them down. Maybe two. It depends how long the first one goes for. The first one I'm gonna read is probably going to be. I got them saved right here in front of me. I need to really bring them up on my computer, but I ain't got that far yet. I have them on my phone. Reddit readings. I don't tell you guys who posted it because it don't really matter. I just tell you their situation and what I would do if I was in their situation or what they could do. That way, if you can find a way to relate to what they're going through, or if you have the same thought patterns they're going through, you can maybe find something that you can apply to your own problem. And I'm gonna try to fix it. I guess you could say, right? I'm gonna get my reading glasses on because this will be the last time you see my glued up glasses here. I think they were in the last podcast episode too. I finally got me some new glasses, which I really needed. This is long overdue. I got these glasses right here in 2018. That was a long time ago. That was almost a decade ago. Um, I mean, a few years short of a decade, but still, it's nice that I got me a new pair of glasses. And that's something that I've been wanting to do for years, but I've always had on the procrastination train for. All right, this one right here is a good one. Um, and this is a long read, so I might not do two readings today. But it's Reddit reading 2. Read harder or something like that. I don't know what I'm called. I'm gonna do the Die Hard reference, right? Shout out to one of my. Not only is it a shout out to the Die Hard movies, it's also a shout out to my one of the first people I watched on YouTube. But that's beside the point. Anyway, for those who hate themselves all their lives, how did you change? For those who do not have any motivation to change your life, what helped you overcome this? So this is kind of a question that this person, not only were they looking at their own problem, but they said, what can, they're actually looking for something that they can apply in their life. The name don't matter. So this person right here is 28 years old, and they have hated themselves since they were a preteen. I grew up in a family that mocked everything about me, and one that didn't nurture parts of me. I grew up with no confidence and low self-esteem. Ow, my face. I can read this with my glasses on. I know there's a glare in my glasses. Anyway, didn't nurture parts of me. I grew up with no confidence, low self-esteem, and have no knowledge of the world. As you can imagine, this only intensified once I hit puberty. I had BPD, depression, anxiety. I deal with executive dysfunction, and I do not leave my house. It's really hard to. I'll stop right there for a minute. For your problems, BPD, depression, anxiety, you get that checked out. That's the first thing you should do. But also, on top of that, don't let that identify you, right? Like, okay, you may have that, got it. Do what you can to get it managed. I can't say cure because you can't really cure a lot of that stuff, but you can manage it. Your environment at a young age is a big reason why I hate to say, but it sounds like you're playing the victim and you're blaming your current circumstance on your past, and you're letting that be your story and your identity. That is what I'm getting out of this. But maybe you're just trying to describe why you feel like you are the way you are. But from just reading those two little paragraphs, change your story. Don't identify with the BPD, the depression, and the anxiety, and that you are dealing with executive dysfunction. First step says you say it's really hard to leave your house. Start by just stepping outside. You don't got to leave your yard, man, or even your porch. Expose yourself outside. And then Work your way out from there. Learn the power of compound interest and make one decision. Stick with that decision. To say you stay in bed, well, I mean, I'll keep going. I have no desire to live. Excuse me. I am idly living in a dissociative state. Man, I got the hiccups at the worst time, didn't I? And I have been for some time now. And nothing interests me or brings me joy anymore. And I have no desire to try to make a difference. How do I change this? Well, you say you have no desire and that you're living in a dissociative state. My question for you is, how is your day? If you feel like you have no desire for anything in life, or you find no joy, and even in things that you used to find joy in, like I like video games, but when I was deep into depression and fresh off a heartbreak, I got no joy out of video games. And that's just because of where I was at in my current state of mind at the time. That, and if you play it so many times, it gets harder to enjoy it. So you need to manage how you spend your day. So, like, how are you spending your day? Are you on your phone all day looking at a screen? Are you in bed not moving all day, right? I'm sure you are probably indulging in some type of distraction. And I honestly, the more time you spend on social media or a phone or getting quick dopamine hits, which I hate using that word, but it's kind of what it is, you're indulging in distractions that is set up to keep you distracted. And that depletes your brain's resources, which makes it harder to find joy in the little things. So if you're on your phone all the time during your day, start by cutting back on it. Or whatever. You need to see how you spend your time and start changing it. Have time set out where you sit and do nothing. That's a good thing to do. Because if you sit and do nothing, not lay in bed and go to sleep, just sit there and do nothing, your brain will go crazy. And then eventually it'll start rewiring yourself and you'll find joy in the little things. Me cutting off social media for a while, I found joy in so many things. Me managing what I put my time into made me enjoy things again. I have no desire to live. Oh, I just read that. Sorry. No amount of you have to work on yourself or your life will be like this forever does anything to me. It's just I'm just waiting to pass away. I'm letting life happen for me while I sit and watch it go by. Why are you letting it go by? Your life is not over. Well, how old are you? 28? 28 years old? Your life's not over. But yes, you're right. No amount you want to have, you have to want more of yourself or your life will be like this forever does anything to me. Why does it not do nothing to you? Why does it go one ear and out the other? Why does it go in one ear and out the other? Again, you gotta change your story. I ain't got no fancy pre-workout day. It's just plain out water. I think I do not want to fix this. Oh, I'm sorry. I think I do want to fix this, but cannot bring myself to do anything for myself. I do not love myself enough to try and be and tried, and the hatred, pity, and remorse I feel for myself does nothing either. I cannot bring myself just to just do things, and I do not know why. If by chance I do start something, it'll soon be over in a week, and I'll go down a mentally taxing and depressing spiral where I undo anything positive I have done. If you have been through this, please give me a step in the right direction as I am completely at a loss. And I'm still not even done with this thing. I will tell you this though, that your current mindset, that ain't a fucking thing I can tell you. Because you'll go into the same spiral. I give you something to give you the step in the right direction, you'll take it, and guess what's gonna fucking happen? You're gonna go right back out again. You know why? Because you're telling me you are. You are telling me you're going to without even knowing you're telling me. Like you're telling me that in the past it's happened. I don't see anything in here that's telling me it's gonna change if I do it again. If I tell you the same thing. Unless you change your identity, change your story. All right? Stop the victim. You're not a victim. You're exactly where you're at because of the decisions you made in the past. And if you don't want that to be your future, you're going to have to change your decisions. You're going to have to change what you do. And what's going to take? It's going to fucking suck. Even if you at the depressed state. Let's go 10 years down the line and you don't change a damn thing. You know what's going to happen? You're going to be even fucking deeper because you lived in it for so long. And the longer that you live in it, the harder it is going to be out of it. So you have to wake the fuck up now and start right now with changing your bullshit story. I'm not saying your past is fucking bullshit and you're lying about it. No, I'm saying your past has more control over you than it should. I believe this guy. Yes, I believe you feel like you can't do shit. I believe that you had a shitty upbringing. And that's the story you've told yourself. But why let it control the rest of your life? Your 30s can be the best time ever because you'll be doing exactly what you want. But it won't if you don't change the decisions and the actions you take. You've got to change your story and you've got to push forward. If if your depression is full depression and not just because of the environment and the mindset and the thought patterns you put on yourself, let's say that it is that. Let's say your depression is just because of the story you're telling yourself. If you get out of that state, your depression will be a little bit better. And again, I don't think depression is all just circumstances. I do believe that chemicals in your brain can be fucked around and shit like that. And depression is a very, very complex thing. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't do what you can to try to get out of it. You can't just say, I'm depressed and that's life. No. Don't say that shit, man. Why? Why are you giving up, man? Don't. I've had depressed times. I still get depressed times. Maybe I have depression, but I'm not going to let that control me because I have times where I'm not depressed. Have times when I'm out of it. And the good outweighs the bad. Even when I'm in the bad and I don't think that. Honestly, what works for me is I've taught myself techniques to deal with my brain. That don't work for everybody, but I think it's a good thing you should try to learn. That way you can attempt it. As for BPD and your executive function disorder you said, try to work on that. Go fucking you got anxiety too, yeah. Go work on it. Go find a way. This guy said if you suggest therapy, he wants specific therapy. I'm not the guy for that. I don't know what to fucking tell you, but I know they're out there. I know there's ways out there, and if you need to see a doctor to get the pills you fucking need, and that's the route you want to take, great. You can go to CBT practitioners and you can learn NLP. That works for some people. NLP worked for me. And I think younger me thought NLP was the shit, but learning about CBT, which is the cognitive behavior therapy, I found that one a lot more effective for me. I think it's cool to know NLP, which is the neuro linguistic programming. But I think if I was a face to face with someone to talk to them, I think CBT is more effective in the long term. But that's just me. In terms of therapy, which this guy tried therapy. That's great. I'm glad you tried. He said I was rejected for psychotherapy that was government funded. I think about 2 years now, and it broke me. And then I realized that I don't think therapy can even help me in this current state. I'll tell you right now, that's bullshit. Because therapy will help you, but you don't have self love, so you're gonna tell yourself that bullshit. Yes, they can fix you. You are not completely broken. You're not. The fact that you're having an outcry on here, you're not completely broken. You probably spent a lot of time on Reddit because you made a big ass post on Reddit. Screen time, cut back on it. Have more times where you just sit with yourself. Because when you're forced to be bored and have nothing to stimulate your brain, your dopamine receptors baseline starts resetting itself. And when it does, you find joy in other things again. You've got to change the story you tell yourself, and you've got to work on wiring new neurons in your brain. I recently tried to get private therapy. Now, I don't know what private therapy is. Me personally, that could be out of the loop. That might be something I need to learn. But I was told that my issues were too severe for them to help. Huh. Well, I feel like if you've seen a therapist and they said that, I hope they actually referred you to somebody that would be more helpful. You may guess I didn't take it very well. And this is why he said, okay, now he kind of explained why he said he doesn't believe it can help him in his current state. Uh, and he asked if it's true, and I think, no, it's not true. Therapy will help you. If you're that private therapy, I don't know who you consider to be private therapist. You need to get another opinion. That person, it might even be a she, I don't know, but that therapist, if it didn't refer you to someone, maybe you should get another opinion. The only therapy I find quite helpful was compassion therapy, which I've had for about 3 years now. Please be specific. Okay, I'm not going to suggest therapy to you, like specific therapy, because I'm not the guy for that, but I do think you should find the right therapist for you. Therapy will help you. Okay, even though if you had a therapist tell you that it's too severe, no, come on now. You need a therapist. You try somebody, get another opinion. Now, if you get 10 therapists telling you that shit, okay, maybe you got something going, but you can't quit after one. But you're not. I mean, you're asking. I'll give you that. I will go over what some people say as replies and shit, but I've only been 16 minutes for real. Wow, that's pretty neat. I ran through that pretty well. Outside of the therapy, I do think you need to change your story for this person, and that's what I would tell him. Change your story. He's got a big victim mindset, and he's staying in that victim mindset. And whenever he's asking himself why, he's pulling reasons. And let me tell you something. Every reason you pull, when you sit there and ask yourself, why am I like this? For every reason you pull, all you do is strengthen the story. You blamed your environment growing up and saying you weren't loved enough. You said you're mad. You had a family that mocked everything about you. And I'll tell you something about that. The family that mocked you, I'm sorry you went through that. I hate that for you, man. I'm sorry. I didn't have a family that mocked me, but I had a family that didn't agree with a lot of the decisions that I made in life. And I still deal with that. And a lot of it's been, water under the bridge. Me and my family's gotten over a lot of that. And it's mainly just my close family. Not my brothers. Me and my brothers are close. Me and one of my brothers are close. My other brother, we used to be close, but now we kind of had distance. But I understand. I know exactly how he is, and I'm the same way he is. But the other brother, I actually put more of an effort up because he's so close. Anyway, I love my brothers to death. There's things that should have happened when I was a kid that my parents should have forced me to do, and they didn't. And it's funny for some people to hear that because people that had really tough upbringings is like, I wish my parents were so tough up. And then me growing up, it was the opposite. I wish my parents was more tough on me. You see what I'm saying? So no matter what, you can flip something, and I'm not letting that control me. I don't regret where I'm at right now. There is decisions that I wish I would have took, of course, but then I wish my family would have pushed me in different directions more, but they didn't. And that led to a big fight one time, and then I spoke my piece, and they still don't understand me, but that's okay. I still see them. They still see me. We keep it brief. I let them hang out with the kids. I have no hatred for them. I long for a better relationship with my dad. The bad thing is I have the ability to do it. And I say that's bad because I'm having a hard time pushing myself to do it. But I'm not letting that be a reason for something. You grew up with no confidence, low self-esteem, and your no confidence is low self-esteem is one of the reasons why you hate yourself. I'll tell you that right now. Naive with no knowledge to the world. You grew up. I think honestly, everybody. That's something that everybody, which I'm generalizing. Everybody, I feel like grows up naive with no knowledge of the world until you're out there in it. Teenagers don't get it, but really, a lot of people are rebel teens, right? You don't really understand the world until you're out living in it. I'm kind of like going over his message real quick in my head to see if I should uh get it out. So before I go into the comments and see what people have said, which I didn't do, I don't think I've really done that last year. I think I might have done it at the end, and I will probably read the second one because it's only been 20 minutes into this one, into this podcast. First thing I tell you to do is work on that story. Stop the bullshit. You're only strengthening your victimhood, and you're gonna have to start changing your story. So, like, yes, everything that you said happened to you. You weren't nurtured enough. Your family mocked you. If it happened, yeah, fuck it, right? It fucking happened to you. Fuck, that sucks ass, man. But you got to stop the story somewhere. You got to be like, okay, so this fucking happened. How can I use it? Well, if I wasn't, I mean, my parents mocked me. So if you want kids one day, like one day I'll have kids and I'll never mock them. If you don't plan on having kids or whatever, you can put that energy out in the world. My parents mocked me and the shit I said. But as I go out in this world and I talk to people and I meet friends, I won't mock them for that shit, man. Use that shit. Why won't you'll support them instead of mock them? And the reason is why? Because you were mocked and you needed the support. So you'll be that support for someone. I'm not saying you should go that route, but I'm saying that's one way you can flip the story. Or you can say you'll prove them wrong mentality. Like they fucking mocked me growing up. Fuck them, man. I'll show them. Even though I feel like when I put up a bad little revenge thing, right? I gotta get a drink of water. I'm fucking thirsty. So my big points for you is A, change your story. Start challenging that bullshit. Start working on loving yourself. Find out how to love yourself first. And how do you do that? Well, what you're gonna do is this right here. You're gonna write down exactly why you hate yourself. So you're gonna sit out with a pen and paper one day. You're gonna wake up. You're gonna walk on the porch and you're gonna get that sunlight. Even if it ain't sunlight, you're gonna sit there. No phone, no screens. Don't get your Nintendo Switch if you have one to sit on there playing it. Walk outside. Sit your ass down on the porch if you have one. If not, then sit your ass down in the grass. Crisscross applesauce if you can. And just sit there. Take some deep breaths. Just sit there and be. No matter how uncomfortable it is, be for at least 5 minutes of nothing. Then you know what you're going to do? You're going to get up and you're going to step out to the road. Well, I wouldn't say road, you get hit by a car, right? I want you to step out. If you're feeling it, if you want you to step off the porch, if you're on the porch and start walking towards a mailbox or something, right? Until you feel uncomfortable. And then when you feel that uncomfort, sit in it for a minute. And then push yourself to walk some more steps. But if it's easy, keep fucking walking. Keep walking until you feel that uncomfortable. You could be down the fucking street. And the neighbor's on the porch saying hi to you. And then you feel the uncomfort. Like, oh, fuck, someone talked to me. I don't know if you got social anxiety, but I'm just saying, if you did, you said you have anxiety, but I don't know what type of anxiety you have. So you stop there and you're like, fuck, man, the dude said hi to me. Say hi back. Just keep walking until it becomes unbearable and then walk back. The point is, you got to get into your uncomfort zone and slowly push it out. And then you feel like you'll learn the more you do it, the farther you can go. But then you come back into the house, you feel that uncomfort, you're like, thank God I'm back in the house. You need to sit down on a piece of paper. Don't use your phone, use a piece of paper. Top of the list, why do I hate myself? And write out all the reasons why you hate yourself. And then once you can really, but you got to make it clear and you got to make it measurable. But you gotta have it clear. If you feel overweight, you hate yourself because you got a gut or whatever. I hate myself because I'm fat. It's fucking simple as that. If you feel like that, write it down. Or I hate myself because I can't talk to people. Or I hate myself because I've wasted all my time in life as I feel like. I hate myself because whatever the fucking reason is. And then sit there. Don't post it on Reddit. Fucking sit there and look at it. Okay, what can I do about it? Right? And with you said you tried therapy, tried private therapists, and it didn't work for you because they said they couldn't help you, whatever. Instead of saying, fuck, I can't be helped, say, this is one of the reasons why I helped myself. My private therapist let me down and said I was shit, pretty much, and my problems were not going to fucking be worked. Let me get a second opinion. That's what I could do. I can get a second opinion and try again with a different therapist. Find the one that makes it a mission or has the experience that they dealt with someone like you where they can actually help you. You get that part down, you have an action. What does it take to get therapy? Private therapy. Try it again. And then you can go, I hate myself because I'm fat. I can jiggle my belly and I don't like it. What can you do about it? Well, I guess I can maybe eat less cookies. Find ways to get into shape and start applying them. If you can't go to the gym, which I don't think you'll be able to go to the gym because you can't even walk outside your house, but I think working yourself towards a gym goal would be great. Because not only will you have access to better equipment workout-wise, but you'd be forcing yourself to get out. Staying trapped within your walls of your house only makes it worse. And that's something you don't learn until you come out of it. Even if you're an introvert and you're a homebody. I'm a homebody. I like being home. But I recognize and I'm aware that if I'm stuck in the house all day, it strains my mental health. So I always make it a point to get out at least once a day and do something. Have something that's done outside. Even if that's something is I got a big day planned inside the house, I haven't done all work, I always make time to go outside and do something. Mainly to get sunlight in. So yeah, that's what I'll make that list why you hate stuff. If you feel fat and you feel out of shape, figure out how to get in shape using what you have. With what you have right now. And then you get more resources down the road as you get to the swing of things. But forcing yourself to do little things, plan your day. And I'm not saying have every minute down to a detail. Hell, with your state, if you don't have any fucking thing planned every day and you don't do anything, start with doing one thing a day that you plan on doing. And that could be easy as taking a shower. It's like, okay, tomorrow I'm taking a shower. It means when you wake up, after you do your little self-hate paper, get out there, you know. But you gotta be realistic. You can't say I hate my nose and be like, oh, I'm gonna get a new nose job. Don't do that, man. Don't do that. But okay, how can I learn how to love my nose? Well, you know, what about my nose they really hate? And try to put a positive spin to it, you know. Let's see what else am I missing. You have a job, buddy? Oh, self-confidence. Well, fuck how you grew up with no self-confidence. Start doing little things to build your confidence. And you know, one of the biggest things that are going to build your confidence is actually fucking doing things. I'm swearing a lot right now. Which means get off your ass and do what I tell you to do, man. I mean, not everything I expect specifically tell you to do, but if you start working on yourself, right, and doing things, you'll build confidence. Even taking that fucking shower in the morning will build confidence. Why? Because you get out of that shower and you'll be like, I did what I said I was going to do, man. And at the moment, it might not feel like a big deal. But the more you do it, the bigger deal it becomes. I'm trying to see what you think your biggest problem is. If you're unemployed, of course, try to get a job. You didn't say nothing about that, so I don't know if you have a job or not. Quick browsing over the notes here. I mean, the replies here. This guy said he started working out 3 times a week. when he hated himself. And then he's, oh yeah, that's a big one. I missed that one. You should definitely get enough sleep every night. How late are you staying up? Are you staying up super late? Because whether you get enough sleep or not, staying up late is going to have an effect on you. Uh, so make sure you get proper sleep. Yeah, definitely. Journaling is big. If you're not, journaling your feelings is pretty big because it gets it out on paper. So if you have anything like bottle up emotions, like even the way you feel like your upbringing had a big deal on you, you need to journal about that, man. Journal how it makes you feel. That really helps you get the emotions out. So that's something that helps you with your self love as well. This dude actually had a reply to that. Oh no, he didn't. It's got just a second of it. That's pretty much it. Depression makes everything feel pointless. That is absolutely true. And yeah, the medication, which I highly doubt, be able to get off social media. I said that. All right. Well, that pretty much covers that one. Let me go ahead and close that. So yeah, recap what I think I need to do. You're in that situation. You hate yourself. First thing you need to do, if you feel like you can't get outside, you get outside and just sit there for at least 5 minutes doing nothing. If you have a thought, let it go by. You think about it, but don't ruminate on a thought. Second thing you need to do, go inside, make a list of everything you hate about yourself. Why do you feel like you hate yourself? Right. Third thing you need to do is start changing your story. Work on your thinking patterns. You identify yourself as a victim. You feel like you don't have hope because of the way you were raised. Well, you know what? That might have been the case. They didn't raise you right, but you do have hope because you have the ability to take action. You have the ability to make a new decision every day. So make that decision that, hey, I'm going to work on this, you know. And then look at your self-hate list and be like, what can I change? What's the opposite of that? You know, if I feel out of shape, the opposite of that is doing something to get into shape. And working out is more than just getting into shape. That's something I've learned. You will, at least in my case, working out puts me in a great mood. It primes my mind for the day, and it makes a bad day good. Honestly, it helps me out. And then anyway, so and then start taking action. Make a list of 2 or 3 things to do a day if you can, and then build from that. And then see what other problem areas you have in your life. Like if you ain't got a job, let's take steps to get you working. You know, you have anxiety, like I said, work on that. Try to find a new therapist. If you're able to, do all the steps you can. But if you're not able to, do what you can to learn about the brain and just keep going from there. I understand that you would have a hard time. All right. One more reading. How do I turn my life around after wasting 6 years? This kind of sounds like my other one. Anyway, I'm really honest and realistic. I really need honest and realistic advice. I'm 23 years old, and ever since graduating high school, I've struggled with severe depression and anxiety for the past 6 years. I've done nothing. No job, no college, no friends, no relationship. I live in a small town. I'm poor, have no vehicle, and honestly, I don't know where to start. This one's a little bit shorter than the other one. Right now, I'm overweight, lonely, and I have no hobbies or interests. My teeth are in bad condition because I'm neglecting my basic hygiene for years. I rarely go shower and go outside. I'm getting out of bed feels like a huge task, so I usually just stay in bed all day, sleeping and scrolling through Reddit. My sleep schedule is messed up. I sleep at 3 a.m. and wake up at around 11 a.m. with no structure or motivation. I'll stop right there for a minute. As I do these Reddit readings, because I'm going to do another one next one. Next podcast is also going to be another Reddit reading. We're in the Reddit reading phase of the talk of the day. But you'll notice something because I've noticed it too, and it ain't just with this. It's been years that I've spent working with people too, and talking to them head to head. You see a lot of patterns and a lot of trends. You know, staying in bed all day is one. On your phone all day, that's a trend that you see normally, a pattern with these people that are having hard times. And being overweight is also one. Or even if they're not overweight, the mind frame of them feeling like they're overweight is also part of it. Uh, you see a lot of it. and then they neglected themselves and whatnot. Sleep schedule's fucked up. That's also something common you see. He's up. He goes to sleep at 3 a.m. up at 11 a.m. with no structure or motivation. Since childhood, I've isolated myself and mostly just played video games. Now I feel like a useless adult and completely wasted their life, and I constantly feel tired and confused. Life feels heavy, and I don't know where to begin. I could tell you where to begin. You got the framework out. You said it yourself. You do know where to begin because you said it. You said the opposite. You feel overweight, start getting into shape. You say you have no skills, which I haven't read that yet, so I'll go ahead and read that. I have no skills, no connections, and I suffer from severe anxiety, especially social anxiety. I understand the social anxiety, buddy. I do. Even talking to people or going outside makes me feel panic or ashamed. I also have a bad habit of asking for advice and then not acting on it. I don't know why. I guess I just feel overwhelmed or freeze. But it's been 6 years of this cycle. I can't afford therapy because I'm broke. So I'm trying to reach out online, hoping that someone's words might help me make breakthrough. If you want someone's words to help you break through, you better be listening, right? And you say you have a bad habit of asking for advice and then not acting on it. It's not even a bad habit. It's a decision. But it's a very, very common decision. Okay, don't feel like you're alone in that because you tell people when it comes in terms of someone giving you advice, us humans, we love habit. Our bodies love habit, and we love routine. We love staying in our comfort zone, and we're very emotional. So someone can give you a logical advice, and it's very common for someone not to act on it. The person who receives advice has to really be wired and ready for that advice and actually start implementing it. And the big thing is, I feel like it's easy to implement something as well, but to stick with it is the hard thing. Because I can give you advice that you shouldn't talk to your ex or whatever, go no contact, and you do good for a day, maybe even two. But 2 days ain't enough for your body to rewire itself, right? For your brain to be like, I don't need that person. It takes more than 2 days. So really, I understand how you feel, and you are in a bad, and I understand why you feel like you've wasted the past 6 years. You've not wasted the past 6 years. The past 6 years are the definition of what you don't want in life. You lived it and you don't want it no more. You say you have no friends, no vehicle, whatever. Well, you say you're poor, no relationship, and whatnot. I just need to keep finishing. I'm gonna have to finish reading this before I get deep into it. Suffers from severe anxiety. He needs someone's words to help him break through. I've recently enrolled in college, but I still feel anxious, scared, and like I don't belong there. Why do you feel like you don't belong there? That's a question I would ask for you. My question is, what are some small concrete steps that I could take rebuilding my life? I need a basic plan for someone truly starting from zero. Again, you're not starting from zero. Um, because again, you're 23 years old and you feel like you've wasted your life since graduating high school, is what I got out of that. Good thing I have for you is you are enrolled in college, but you still feel anxious. But regardless of you feeling anxious and feel like you don't belong, you have made a step. You've enrolled in college. Um, what are you doing at college? Is it something that you're in for or whatever? So this dude kind of summarizes everything in one summary here. It says, I've been stuck in my room for 6 years, barely leaving the house because I live in a boring small town. I'm overweight, poor with bad teeth, and no hygiene routine. I have no job, no degree, no friends, no relationships, no skills, and no connections. Okay. I suffer from severe depression and social anxiety. I just sleep, lie in bed, and scroll on Reddit. Just ask for advice. I often ask for advice but don't take action. And I can't afford therapy. I want to change but feel completely lost. Well, you want to change but you feel completely lost because you're not taking the actions. You say that you often ask for advice and never take action. Well, fucking change that. Change that. Take action. But don't feel overwhelmed by the action. Don't take in like 100 things you should do and try to do all 100 in one day and make that your new normal in one day. That's not going to happen. Um, take the possibilities or the advice that I would give or that someone gives you. Pick one thing about that advice and kind of apply that. And then try that. And then once you've tried that, stay committed to it. If it produces, if it's going to produce the outcome you want, even if it don't feel like in the current moment because you're in your feelings, if it's going to produce the outcome you want, then stick with it. You don't know where to start. Well, I'll tell you where to start. I'm looking at you. There's different ways I can go about you saying you've wasted 6 years of your life. First thing I can say is the same thing I said in the last Reddit reading that I did today on this episode, and said that you got to change your story. And this is kind of the change in the story, but kind of not. You say you felt like wasting 6 years, and I just sat here and told you while I was reading, you didn't waste 6 years. You spent 6 years saying the life you don't want to live. I'm sure there's some highlights in those 6 years because there's no way you would have went through all 6 years every single day with any type of joy in it. I feel like you get some type of joy out of Reddit, honestly, even if it's distracting yourself, but you're still going to it. The phone's bringing your brain some type of joy, even though when you're off the phone, you feel like shit. And when you're overindulging in the phone for so long, you start feeling like shit. You live in a boring small town. Well, if you feel like your small town is boring, try to get out of it. I know you say you're broke and you have no job. Of course, that could be a go. If you're not starting from zero because I don't know if you grew up in that town or not. You're starting from where you're at now because you're not starting from zero. Because once you get out of this situation, if you're able to push yourself out of this situation, you're going to be like, in those 6 years, I learned this. Going back to what I said a couple minutes ago, but there's different ways to flip that. You could say that I've wasted 6 years of my life. I would not waste any more. And then make a commitment from there. I would not waste 7 years. I won't waste 12 years of my life. I wasted 6 years. So, like, there's different ways to go about thinking patterns about that. But I think the more empowering way is to be like, I didn't waste 6 years. In those 6 years, I found out what I don't like. And so what? I lost time. You lost time and you didn't do all this stuff. Where to start? You said work on your hygiene. That's a good place to start. You got bad teeth? Well, start taking care of them. Start taking care of your teeth. Simple as that. Practice good hygiene. Take care of your body. You feel overweight, poor, bad teeth, and no hygiene routine. Build a hygiene routine. I guarantee you can get on there. You're on Reddit all the time, right? Well, get on there and say, what are some good hygiene skills? There's you some skills right there. What is good for hygiene? Start there. Learn skills. Okay, you're in college. Stick with it. You got to work. You know, especially if you want to leave that small town after you finish college or whatever it is. If you're doing online college and you just leave the town and continue doing your college, you feel like you don't belong. Why? Is it because you feel you're 26-year-old? You feel like you don't belong? You are 26. No, you're 23, ain't you? You're 23. So I really question, why do you feel like you don't belong? And start questioning those thoughts because they're not true. If you feel like you feel different from the other people, well, they're people. You know. Try working on social anxiety by becoming more social. You have no skills or no connections. You're going to college. Start by just saying hi to people, man. Start working out. See if your college has like a gym you can use or something. And if you, I don't know, you'll have a hard time working out. I understand that. But even if it ain't the gym, go for a run around the block, around your house, just to get outside, man. Start your day outside if you can. The more you exposure therapy helps me. I think exposure therapy is what you need for the whole getting out more, you know. So put yourself a little bit outside your comfort zone consistently, and the more you do it, the wider the comfort zone gets, the more you push yourself out of it. You know, you just keep pushing. Start working on your overweightness and start working on your hygiene skills. That's where you start. You say you have no structure to your day, I think, right? Work on your bedtime routine because it is shit. You're up at 3 o'clock, and I mean you're in bed you're up to 3 a.m. and you're up at 11. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, at least you're getting 8 hours sleep, but still, staying up that late. Shit, what are you doing past 9 o'clock at night? You binge gaming? I mean, I won't blame you, man. Thought it's hard to turn that game off. I do it now. I can't. I used to be able to stay up late and play video games. I can't do it anymore. Because once midnight hits, it's like my mind's like, all right, motherfucker, you gonna feel like shit tomorrow if you don't get off here now. But again, I'm up at 5 a.m. every day, so I'm up at 5:30 a.m. some days, and depending on the way the week works out or whatever. So there you go. Get you a job. Don't worry about the no degree thing. You're working on it. You're in college. My suggestion to you is I hope you're in something that you want to do in college, and you're not in college just to be in college. But even while you're in college, you need to try to work because having a job exposes you to people, and it's gonna be hard at first. It's gonna be hard for a while, man. But you can get out of it, and your brain adapts, man. The brain's ability to adapt is amazing. You're 23 years old, so your brain's not even at its peak. You're still in super learn mode for your brain, man. So it's actually easier for you to rewire neurons in your brain. So it's gonna actually small concrete steps. I'll knock it down to 3 for someone starting from 0. Main thing, structure your day. Find ways to structure your day. And you can use this at the beginning when you don't know what the fuck to do for the next 2. Number 2, work out, work on your body. Exercise, all that. Number 3, well, hell, number two can like a double in it. Start working out to work on your overweightness. Focus on your weight and practice good hygiene. Number 3, get out there and try to get a job and expose yourself to the world. Start using exposure therapy out in the world to get out of your house, start running. Stay off the phone, man. Cut your screen time back. See how much time you actually spend on your phone and then cut back on it. Because staying on your phone all day, staying in bed on Reddit all day will fuck up your mind. There's a healthy way to be on it, but there should also be a time limit thing in it. And I think you shouldn't be on it until you accomplish something. If your frame of mind, I understand you're still going to need that, but if you cut back the time on it, it'd be great. And that's going to do it for today's podcast. Talk of the day. Thank you all for spending your time with me. Next month, I'm going to probably do another Reddit reading and then switch it up after that. Thank you for spending the past 49 minutes with me. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in the month of August. Peace out.